Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Reflective Waves Holistic Wellness Yoga Review. My name is Jody, and I'm so happy that you are joining me today. Today, I have a very special yoga practice to review. This is titled Yoga for Teachers, and it's from Yoga with Adriene. I have a bit of a confession to make. I have never taken a Yoga with Adriene class, and I know that's crazy. My students love Yoga with Adriene. I hear a lot about her classes. I just hadn't gotten around to it, and so I apologize, but this was absolutely lovely to find and so relevant for what I'm going to be talking about today. So, as many of you know, I was a teacher for many years. I'm still a certified teacher, and I left teaching to focus on my art and my wellness programs. So I taught art to grades K through 12, and I had at one point about 700 students on my roster, which means I taught 700 students a week. I was very tired. There were highlights to my job that I don't think any job could replace. The fact that I was having these conversations and educating so many students all at once and being able to get to know each child in the best that I could in the 30 minutes that I had with them during the week. And it was beautiful to watch them grow, especially in the area of art. That was fantastic. And probably the hardest thing for me was watching students approach art and want to express themselves fully, but dealing with just a bunch of other emotional, social emotional, and behavioral stuff that would come out when you were given the opportunity to express yourself. It was very challenging, and I totally know from experience what it's like to be a teacher with a very heavy, not only workload, but to have all the supplies that I had and to do the job that I did. And I watched my colleagues in special education and the general ed classroom, and I found that there was this running theme of just always feeling tired and never feeling like what we could give was ever enough to meet the needs that were there. Being somebody who works with others, who's a caregiver, a nurturer in general. So whether you have your own children, you're working with kids, you're working with pets, and you feel that you just wish you had more to give, I relate to you. I understand that. When I was doing my research for this review, it was very difficult for me to find yoga for teachers. I found a lot of yoga for teachers who are yoga teachers, but really I didn't tap into a whole bunch of resources for educators and teachers that are out there every day making the sacrifices and doing their tremendous job on educating the youth of this world. But you know what? I wasn't let down because Yoga with Adriene did cover this topic, and she actually goes on to say that she did a yoga for the classroom topic as well. I haven't checked out that video yet. If you have, you can leave me a comment down below and let me know how you felt about this practice, and of course the one that she refers to, which is yoga in the classroom. I'm really thankful that this practice is available to teachers because it is something that I know can help in the short term and the long term. So I want to preface this by saying that yoga is more than the postures. I have seen my colleagues of all shapes and sizes, and I know that they can benefit, and I have also benefited from a routine or a practice that is about self-care and just reconnecting into your heart center or the space that's within yourself. It's so easy as an educator, a parent, a caregiver, to keep giving and giving and giving until your cup is completely bone dry. And any little thing, maybe your partner doesn't know where to go for dinner, can just set you off. Trust me, I've lived it, I've experienced it, because we don't have any more decision-making power. We're completely out of spoons and our cup is empty. Yoga is not an end-all be-all, but it is a wonderful tool to have in your toolkit. And practices like the one I'm about to review can certainly help you to regain a little bit of self-worth, self-compassion, just to make better decisions for your own well-being, regardless of what you can give away or be of service to. Regardless of all of that, put it on a back burner for now. You deserve to feel better, you deserve to feel at peace, and you deserve to fill your cup. So with that being said, you deserve to feel okay, and you deserve to feel happy and well and whole and safe, and that you are in control of what you need to do for you. And so that is, I think, paramount to anything that we're going to talk about first. And we're going to review this and we're going to talk about it, and hopefully you will find it as helpful as I did.
And welcome to Yoga with Adriene. I'm Adriene and this is Benji, and today we have a special sequence for teachers. So yoga for the teachers. So we'll do yoga in the classroom. In fact, that's coming up. I'm super excited about it, but this one's for you, teachers. This is also really for anyone who wants to fill their cup and get a little nice flush of energy going in the body. So I like to think of us all as teachers, actually. If you need to fill your cup, if you're a parent, or you have an influence on someone or something, it might be a good idea to take care of yourself, and this little ditty will be perfect for that. So you're gonna need to hop into something comfy, of course, but you're also gonna need a pen or a pencil today. Let's get started. All right, let's begin in a nice, comfortable seat today. Today's practice is all about filling your cup, right? Taking good care of yourself and blanketing yourself in a warmth, energy that feels really nurturing and good. As a teacher, you take on so much responsibility and influence. So I feel like today's practice, even though we're gonna do some good stuff with the body, is really about just taking some time for yourself. So come into a nice, comfortable seat and just take the time for yourself. So you don't have to have a lot of energy for this practice. You don't have to do anything really. Just allow this time to unfold. Sit up nice and tall, and when you feel comfortable, see if you can close your eyes as you sit up really, really tall and begin to relax your shoulders. And if you are in desperate need of this practice, you might already start to feel a little, we'll call it warmth, but it could be emotion or just a sigh of relief. Tapping into that heart space a little, because as I'm sure you know, as a teacher, it's impossible to not engage your heart space. You have to have that care, that awareness, that connect to really inspire and to share. Start to notice your breath.
Gorgeous opening. I have never taken a class with Adriene before, but I can definitely see where the appeal is. She knows her stuff, starts to connect right off the bat to what we're doing here and why we're here. Her intention is beautiful, that filling the cup, we all need that. And just release the idea that we're going to be doing headstands and jumping around our mat, which is kind of nice to know, especially if you're new to a practice or you're already just so fatigued with what we're going to be doing throughout the day, that it's really nice to have someone tell you where you're headed and that you're not going to have to exert a ton of energy into what we're about to do. And it kind of just releases everything off of your shoulders so that you can focus on what's important, which is, again, filling that cup and feeling better.
Whatever's going on here, whether it's a soft palm to palm or a firm press, use that to lift your chest, your sternum up to your thumbs.
She talks a lot about lifting the chest. If there's one thing I can tell you as being an educator and a caregiver, it's that this kind of rounding happens all the time, because I feel like we're so much into our front body that we're constantly rounding, constantly like just holding all of the burden on our shoulders in our minds, and therefore our body starts to round. So she has us peel back and open up, which can be a little emotional at times, to open up through that chest space, that heart space, but it's really vital. And I love that that was one of the main focuses of this practice.
All right, so this is something that we're going to start off with, and then we're going to move the body, but obviously you can do this at work as well in your little free moments. So a lot of grading papers, a lot of hand stuff, just in general, this idea of the hand being a symbol of something that lifts us up, that nurtures, that can protect, that can communicate. So we're going to attend to the hands a little bit here to start. So we're going to take your pen or pencil and you're going to bring it right to the base of the palm here. And this will be a little different for everyone. It'll also depend on your utensil, your tool. You're just going to roll it here.
So she does a technique where we massage using the pen. I love this. Any kind of tip or trick or technique that you can bring into your everyday is super accessible. I didn't really think about using a pen to do that. I would use like a ball or something. But of course, most teachers, most people have a pen or a pencil that's hanging around, and it's just really accessible and awesome. I just loved this part of the practice. I love that I now had something that I could bring in wherever I was just to help me relax and ground a bit more. So that was fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. You can tell that she is a total professional. Awesome, awesome job here.
All the way up first, create length here as if someone were pulling you up from your wrist. And then from there, create space in the left shoulder, left ear, so we're not here. And then side body stretch. Feel that length, that stretch through the side body. Inhale, and then exhale, release. Right hand comes to the ground. And again, think up first. So reach, reach, reach.
And even though she doesn't say it here, she's really gearing us up to do this practice when we have a minute behind our desk or at lunch duty or whenever during our teaching day. So it's awesome that these little movements, this breathing technique was ingrained throughout this practice.
By starting at the tail, listen carefully, start at the tail and go really slow and articulate all the way up through the spine.
So she says something in here. She says, let's not make this about ticking off our to-do list or our check boxes. I am 1000% guilty of that. If I think I know where a posture's headed, I will definitely go, oh, that's the next thing in the sequence. It must be. And I think that when we approach it from that forward kind of front body avenue of, oh, I'm going to get A, B, C, D, E, F, G done, then we kind of miss out on the entire reason for the practice, which is to drop in and be super present in our body, which helps our mind to relax so that it's actually possible for us to find peace and fill up that cup again, because that's that breath, mind, body connection that we're always talking about in yoga, and trying to find a bit of that contentment in our life, that space, right? To just feel, be present, and enjoy the present moment.
So this might seem a little easy, right, or elementary, but I really want you to just close your eyes and just notice how you feel in your body. What feels tight? What feels a little congested? And like, what part of your being needs a little nurturing today? Is it physical body? Is it just your heart space? Using your breath? Allowing your mind to be still. Or maybe you need to smile a little bit, lift the corners of the mouth.
Aw, 1000%. The entire Dharma talk throughout this entire practice was beautiful, and it really was nurturing and nourishing and so appreciated. If I was still in the classroom, this would definitely be one of my go-tos for my practice when I was feeling really just overwhelmed with everything. The standing sequence isn't exactly tough. My only suggestion would be to bring in some blocks underneath the hands when we go into our forward fold. It was a lot on my IT band, so I can only imagine that balance would be an issue here. And then of course, like a super, super tight IT band. Finding those blocks underneath the hands is going to help us just to find a bit more length in the torso, especially if we sometimes get a bit too much in our head and are more ego-driven and wanting to overcompensate. Using those blocks can just help to prevent injury. She does a fantastic job throughout this entire practice of suggesting blocks and props and things like that I would always say to bring in when they make sense. The only one I feel like could have been helped was just this forward fold. That was it.
Unless that feels good, you can keep it nice and open here, focusing on this, or if it does feel right, bend the elbows left to right, and you can round through the spine.
This is what I practice a lot with my students, is taking that self-care moment to give yourself a massage where it makes sense. Either when we started with that pencil or pen between the palms, now we're massaging the bottom of the feet. This also helps to stimulate the body, get all that tissue kind of softened and energy just dispersing through the palms of the feet and the hands, which are our energy centers anyway. It's just a really nice practice to do because I feel like we ignore our hands and ignore our feet, especially when we're in this go-go mindset. So I absolutely adored this. Hats off to her here. This was beautiful. Fantastic.
Fit from just taking some time to slow down and balance out your energetic body so that you can have the energy you need to serve others and kick butt.
The energy you need to serve others and kick butt. I think that is well accurate, and she did a tremendous job. This was a beautiful practice, highly recommend. And I think it's very attainable and very accessible. So we stay in Shavasana for a little while. She says her namastes and we close in Shavasana, which I loved because if you're really that tired and you need some extra rest, stay there. Stay there as long as you like. Once again, Yoga with Adriene comes highly recommended from my clients to me, so I 1000% recommend her for them as well. I think this practice had just enough for everyone, and it really did focus on that loving and nurturing space within yourself. And again, I cannot stress it enough. Do not feel like when you go to do your self-care methods and treatments and techniques and everything you need, don't feel like you need that just to give away more. It should feel like you're happy and healthy and whole regardless of what you need to do and to serve. You shouldn't ever be draining your cup. You should be giving the overflow away to others if it makes sense to do so and to be of service in that way. So with that being said, my channel is chock full of techniques, classes, pranayama, breath work, meditations, artwork, things that you can purchase for your little ones and your friends to continue that cycle of feel good going on. And I hope that you take a moment to look around my channel a little bit and check out my store, of course. Please, if you enjoyed this review, please like this video. Of course, subscribe to my channel for new things that are always coming out. And if you want to see me review anything else, if there's a practice out there that you're not really sure of or you want to get my feedback on, leave it for me down in the comments. I would love to interact with you. I promise I'll try my absolute best to make a video out of it, but I will get back to your comments. So thank you so much for being here and sharing this review with me. I hope you have a warm and wonderful rest of your day.